Guys, CIG just keeps delivering, but it's not on their actual game. They just keep delivering ridiculous updates that we're able to laugh and make fun of. This one, I skimmed this. I'm gonna be honest. You're not getting a pure reaction where like I didn't know anything about it. But this is CIG is changing the way you can gift things on your account. And again, I skimmed it very little. To me, my initial thought was like, oh, they're trying to become the thing that they always had intended to become. So if anybody knows, like, CIG does sell money. Like, you could buy UEC on the website, even still, I believe. And if they don't anymore, they did for many, many years. And I know of some whales who every week hit the maximum amount that they were able to buy so that they can start out with more money than other people. Kind of insane, but that's what they did. And at the most insane rate of $10 per... Like, wait, $1 per 10,000 credits or something? Like, it was just, like, a horrible rate for, like, how the game ends, like, the economy is playing at the moment, at least. And, yeah, so I initially thought that it's CIG just trying to become the pledge store and hurt any third-party sites that may appear or anything like that. Turns out to be something a little bit different. It was $20 for 20k UEC. Oh, even worse. Yeah. So, horrible. But let's check this out. So, updates to pledge gifting and game access. Hey there, as we continue preparing for the launch of Squadron 42 and progressing towards Star Citizen 1.0, sure, buddy, we are taking the next step with the new game library system that gives games a clear permanent place within each account. Gives games a clear permanent place within each account. As a part of this transition, we're making updates to pledge gifting and game access. We're sharing these details early so everyone knows what to expect when the changes affect in October. This is also always something good that they've been doing as well, although you're not sharing it that early. It's October. It's only a couple of months away. Not everybody's going to see this post. A Spectrum post is not a way to do this. I don't know any other way, and I don't think CIG has the ability to do this, but anytime you log into Spectrum, this should be a pop-up that comes up on your account, because it is such a drastic change from what was available before. Let's start out with gifting changes. I know nothing about the game access, by the way. I just looked at the gifting changes briefly, because before I did anything, I scrolled down to the top post, and Kabutops is in there, and I just was like, what? This is weird, and I don't agree with what he's saying. The following changes will apply to the pledges purchased after the new gifting system takes effect in October. Existing pledges will retain their current gifting functionality. So my account's not affected. I don't put any new money into Star Citizen. Everything that I have that's giftable now will remain giftable. Any third-party seller who has been using bots to get Idrises and things like that, those all remain fully functional. This is going forward, not right now. Okay. So, yeah, it's not like they changed our accounts. You know, like the buyback system, where it was like, those were in our buyback to be able to buy back, and now we can't buy them back. That was drama, right? Because you affected something that was there that I may have went and decided to buy back, right? This doesn't seem that bad. Pledges intended as gifts must be designated as such at the time of purchase. Okay. That sounds totally fine to me. This also has no effect on third-party sellers. None. Unless if you designate the purchase as a gift when you're buying like an Idris or something, then you go to the back of the line. And somebody who is designating that purchase as not a gift skips over you. Right? I think that would be a good thing to do. Potentially. I don't know. Let me know what you think on that one. But to me, I think that would be a good thing. Like, you know, you're not allowed to designate as a gift in these limited time sale Idris things, maybe, right? Can't gift over 1K unless you sell the account. Yeah, shows how much I know on that front. I don't do giveaways at all, so I didn't even realize that. I remember now, because I remember, hey, this is gonna hit some nostalgia for some of you guys, but I remember when WTFosaurus was like kind of quitting streaming, he did, or like this was his last hurrah, which was a pretty dumb choice in my opinion, was to give away a Kraken, and he had a ton of viewers. He had like 1,000 viewers or something like that, which is like not a ton now. But back then was a lot. He had like 1,000 viewers every day for like a week. But then the moment the giveaway happened, it was gone. So if you can't gift anything over 1,000, yeah, I don't see any issue with this, except it doesn't affect third-party sellers. That if you're going to buy a limited ship, let's say, what's going to come out around IAE that's probably going to be limited for a little while, maybe the Galaxy, right? That will only be on sale at IAE and then maybe come up on sale later at some point. Anybody who's like a third-party seller and is going to buy, let's say, 3 Galaxies and put a 10-20% margin on it later on, they're just going to apply it. They're just going to say it's a gift. That's it. Or sell the account or whatever, right? So this doesn't really change anything from that standpoint. This more just seems like a back-end change. Maybe it's more related to game access. Let's see what happens when we get there. A pledge designated as a gift cannot be used by the purchaser. Now, it's my understanding that that's the issue with Kabutops, who's a YouTuber, does a lot of guides on like how to make money in Star Citizen. Check him out if you haven't yet. But this is... He's younger, so this is kind of like... There's so much ego here. It's kind of funny. To me, as a YouTuber, and over 12,000 given away, I will no longer be able to buy a ship, show it off, and give it away. Are you for real? This is such a weird change to a non-existent problem. Please go back to the drawing board. Yeah, this is like a weird flex, but okay moment. Like, I'm a YouTuber, guys. I don't see much of an issue with this, personally. Because if you were a YouTuber... CIG should be giving you the ship anyway, unless they hate you for whatever reason. And if you do stuff like this, they'll hate you. So, as somebody who knows, yeah, that'll be a thing. All right. Once the recipient has received the gifted pledge, it may be upgraded normally using CCUs. Okay, so it's totally normal. So, as a YouTuber who gave away 12,000, well, now you need to buy the ship, melt it, when you don't want to use it anymore, and buy another one to give away. Also, don't do giveaways. They don't help you. Like, just take it as somebody who never does a giveaway ever. They make no difference. They just bring people who don't care about you to your channel. That's all they do. If you're going to do giveaways, like, just... Like, okay, you know how the Banu Cube was... the reason I have 2,000 subs right now is because of the Banu Cube, right? When the Banu Cube was about to expire, there was... Because on the card, there was literally an expiration date for October 2026. Or 2025, something like that. I think it was 2025. October 2025 was the expiration date. So, I went and looked at... like, a person who was a Paramount... figure in my community, and I just gave it to him, right? Because I had 2 extra, and then I think I just gave a random one away, but I just randomly decided to do it, right? But if you like put giveaway in your title, you make a giveaway video and stuff like that, it's only going to hurt you. It's not going to help you. Game access. This is probably the more relevant to the conversation here. When the new game library system launches on October 1st, 2026, one eligible pledge on each account will be designated as its primary game access pledge. This will be the account's non-meltable pledge, or if no non-meltable pledges are present, its oldest pledge. What is a non-meltable pledge? That is the drama here to me. What the fuck is a non-meltable pledge? So what I think this is probably Raven Omega Concierge Hat. I know what some non-meltable pledges are. It does appear like more pledges may become non-meltable. Yeah, like I know there are some referrals. Yeah. I get it, chat. I get it. What I'm wondering is, are more things going to become non-meltable? CIG has an incredibly forgiving system right now. A system that will probably not stick around. Right? A system that will probably not be sticking around. It doesn't seem like one that should stick around in a release game. Right? So that's, I think, the thing to look at here is the system of buy new ship, melt it, buy account, melt it, whatever. I don't think that we're going to be able to be doing that anymore. That's going to make content creation incredibly difficult. I'll just say that. Especially as somebody who's been kicked out of their little program where they give you some of the new ships that come out so you could show them off to people. That's going to make my life impossible, actually. So not really. I mean, I'll just ask friends who've purchased it or viewers or whatever, but I'll just say this. If Star Citizen, if Star Citizen is a game where in order to show the new content, you absolutely have to purchase it or bend the knee, that's a Star Citizen problem, not a me problem, right? I have my own problems. I'm an asshole, but and don't deserve any relationship with CIG. I'm not saying I do, but that's a game problem, right? Post 1.0 melting will not be a thing for sure. It might be a thing, but it might be a much not a much shorter period of time, potentially, Quircon, right? Where it might be a thing that you could do for 24 hours, 2 hours, whatever, more Steam-like. So, also, smaller streamers not in CIG's program can't do that either. That's 100% true, right? And that's why I'm saying it's like a game problem, a game-wide problem. How does anybody grow as a creator that isn't in your program? How do you even get noticed if I can't show the new stuff? Now, hopefully, ships aren't the main content of the game one day, and this doesn't become an issue at all. I don't believe it will until it does, but at the moment, one can hope. The primary game access pledge will become permanently associated with that account and cannot be melted or gifted. Any ships or vehicles included in the pledge may still be upgraded normally using cross-chassis upgrades. Additional game packages, you see? So maybe not using melted or, and then upgrading. Additional game packages and duplicate game copies will continue to function normally and may still be gifted where eligible. So normally is the question that a lot of people have here. They're going to need to address what having multiple game packages on a single account means. I think they are addressing it here. Your one game package is your game package. And then CIG has to decide, do you get multiple characters per account? Because if we have a reputation system or any sort of progression system, you may want to create a character and start over. I think they do recognize that as something people like to do. I can't imagine that a good system would be gift your other package to a different account. But I don't know. Because the other thing is, functioning normally, is if we think back to the old 10 for the Chairman days, is Chris Roberts said this. This might be a surprise to a lot of you. If you have multiple game packages on your account, those game packages would equal NPC crew that would live and function on your ship, and then you can Agent Smith yourself into those NPCs with those accounts or whatever. So, like, you can become the turret gunner on it. So it was ridiculous and stupid from that point, and I was against it then. Let me use the most egregious, ridiculous example. But it doesn't matter if it's ridiculous because it's possible. Test squadron or a large org with a bunch of whales in it has an Idris or an Odin with a bunch of accounts. All of those turrets are manned by an AI, but one guy is flying. But anybody can pop in and out. So what you're telling me is that if you have a lot of money, you win. Right? It's just not necessarily a good thing. Will those AI be as good as a player in the turret? Once you have things like Idris's and Odin's, it doesn't necessarily matter that much. Right? And if you've ever fought against ships and ship AI, when they're working, it's kind of pain, right? So that was a thing that I saw a lot of whales really wanted, because they wanted that advantage over others. And they won't admit that to themselves, but they wanted that advantage for themselves, right? And I don't think they're going to get that advantage, and I think that that's a good thing. So to me, hopefully, this is a based thing by CIG and not a bad thing. Anyway, looking ahead, these updates are part of the broader work underway to create clearer and more consistent account experience for Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. We'll share any additional information as we approach the new game library systems rollout in October. Okay, I don't think this is drama. I don't think this is much. I don't think this affects third-party sellers. I'm not really sure what to think about this because we don't have all the information here. But I did see in the comments people asking, multiple game packages on a single account. We need to hear about that, right? Customizable and remote controllable NPC crew is totally dead. Oh, and look who's saying it. The whale himself. The leader of the 890 Jump Club, Joe Rune. Yeah. So he's become more salty lately because whales don't have as much of an advantage over everyone anymore, and you actually have to play the game instead of just imagine it.
Me, like, I'm physically pained when anybody is negative.
Yeah. Not really sure what to think about that one. But I don't really believe that if you have multiple game packages, you should gain an advantage over other people. Right? I just don't think that that's a thing. It's just a weird concept to have. But I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about this. I do understand the frustration maybe for Cubatops that you can't show the ship off. But until they do the changes to melting, you're able to make the content any way you need with just some extra steps, especially if you have spent that much money on the game. But yeah, so I don't think this is much drama. I think people came into my chat this morning before I was even live, and they're like, I can't wait to hear what he says. There's not much to say. Because they said a bunch of letters, put them together in sentences without saying too much yet. But the big thing is, I do kind of like the idea of intending things to be a gift. That seems fine. It seems like they're just trying to set up their store in a way where they can step things back to a 1.0 like experience. And these steps are going to need to happen, guys. The world we live in today, where we can do whatever we want with our account, that is a privilege. That is a privilege that we have during the alpha. But it doesn't make sense come live. So these things are going to have to roll back for sure. If they release a new, better starter ship, you're locked in. Blocked from swapping the game package. Ooh, okay. Now I understand the drama. You choose your game package. After that, but not really, though. Because if they release a new, better starter ship, I guess I'm looking at it from a way that I have store credit. And I have a bunch of ships that I don't care about. So I must be biased here. If you just have an Aurora, just buy in game, what the fuck? I mean, obviously, yes. Melt and rebuy, but we're under the belief that you will not be able to. It's an unmeltable package, based on this post. Reminder. Primary access pledge will become permanently associated with the account, cannot be melted or gifted. But you can CCU from it. Yeah, and you can't even CCU if the current one is more expensive, but the new one makes more sense for you. Got it. Okay, I understand people's annoyance by this, but again, play the fucking game. That's what this means. This is not drama. This is anybody who likes video games and doesn't like following the ships and this one will fit better for me and all that stuff. This is your day to sit back, take a sip of tea, and grin at all the people that thought that they were gonna, maximize their account before launch or something like that. I love this. The more I think about it, the more I like it. Simply because playing the game becomes more of a priority. Now, what I don't like is that the game sucks to play. So hopefully, like a lot of people, here's the reason why people, and I can already hear you guys typing it, chill if you're going to go down the route of, I've already earned this ship so many times in the game, so I'm just buying it now. You're absolutely within your right to feel that way. Right? Like, for example, there was a guy in our Discord who, like, always talked about CCUs. That was all he would ever fucking talk about. He was such a dork about it. But then, like, he sat me down one day, and I was like, why are you like this? And he was like, dude, I earned the Prospector 4 times, and it wiped 4 times. Yeah, Vendez. He was, they wiped the Prospector 4 times on me. So I bought it. I've earned it already. I've already earned it. And I'm like, you know what? That logic is fairly fucking sound to me. Now, you haven't earned it in 1.0, which, again, it kind of breaks things. But to me, fair, right? So I don't think this will happen. This is my cope for this, is that CIG focuses on making the game a more enjoyable experience to earn these ships or try these ships or experience these ships in the game in a tier 1 level, and then when we get to tier 3 and higher, then maybe that's different. But again, I don't know. So those are my thoughts on this whole like game access and gifting thing. Is all of this was bound to happen. We need to come to a 1.0 Star Citizen like experience with our accounts. You can't just be changing things willy-nilly all the time. On a website, you should be changing them by playing the game. And to me, that's everything that I'm seeing here. So good on them. The gifting thing is a little weird, but with that, yeah, I guess the whole gifting thing and designating it as a gift means that it won't be on your account. So you can't, like, here's how I look at the gifting thing. And then I'll kind of end it here. This is more of a 1.0 like experience because it allows you. This also tells us, guys, that they're 100% selling ships after launch. Because what this does is I can buy something for a friend, but not have it gain an advantage on my account. And it's sent to them. So, yeah. Anyway, that's all I got. But again, I could still buy ships and gain an advantage on my own account. So who knows? Kind of weird. But Star Citizen's weird, so whatever.